Welcome back. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of the Positively Encouraging People podcast, your pep talk with Jen. I'm so glad you decided to join me for another weekly dose of encouragement, inspiration, and accountability, whatever it is that you need out of this podcast to make your week great and to set you going in the right direction. Today, I am super honored to have an amazing guest with me. I have Kristin Wood from KristinWWellness.com, and she is a total body transformation coach. And she is going to talk to you today about confidence around weight loss. So welcome, Kristin. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me with the positive, encouraging people pep talk.
Yes, absolutely. We're glad you're here. So the first question I have for you today is, what made you decide to become a health coach or a total there's a good word for you, total body wellness coach?
Well, I had pretty much, I think it's safe to say, struggled with my weight from about, 12 or 13. I decided I didn't really like how I looked. I thought I noticed features on other people that I thought looked better than they looked on me. And so I'd went through probably 35 years of trying different diets, different workouts, and my weight would just yo-yo constantly. And it reached a point where it was just always landing a little higher and never coming back all the way back down. And I had a surgery and had a bit of a scare with some prescription medicine, and really started worrying that I'm getting older and I'm not going to be able to take the prescriptions that come with all the chronic lifestyle diseases. So I was like, I'm a smart chick. I need to figure this out. There's got to be an easy solution to being healthy. I've got to figure it out. And I started searching, and somehow I came across a life coach, information about a life coach, and was like, how did I never know that this person existed? I needed a life coach since I was 12. And yes. I kind of started seeing, is there one in my neighborhood? Is there one in my state? Where are these people hiding? And I just felt like I got a drop in from, I call it God, that just go be one. This is what you've always needed. Go be that for other people. And so I started searching for how do you even get to be one? And I found a health and life coaching school. And I was mostly interested in the life because I was like, it's time that I like myself. I need to like myself. I spend so much time with me. I've got to quit being so hard on me. And when I found the health and life coaching, and I was like, oh, they could teach me how to lose the weight for good and like myself. So I signed up, and I thought, if nothing else, if I can help me, that would be great. And through the simple things that I learned, simple things that they don't teach us in school. Right. Nobody teaches us these mindset things, just the simple mechanics of how our body works and how the world is messing that up with the food that we eat and the stresses that are put on us. And I was able to transform myself and decided, this is what I want to do. I want to go help other people transform themselves, get their health back on track. And yeah, if they love themselves in the process, that's just icing. It's great.
I love that. That's perfect. And we have a lot of similarities in how we decided to become coaches. And I just love that. I think that's wonderful. And I know I, for one, am super thankful that you decided to join this journey and be on it, because you have been, excuse me, you have been more than a godsend for me. So I am truly grateful for that as well. So,
well, through the process of getting certified, yes, I have met some people like you that have really impacted my life in a positive way.
Yeah, it's been great, hasn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your biggest struggle around confidence? We're talking about confidence the whole month of May. And so I think people would like to know that.
Um, I've always felt like I just wasn't enough. Like either I wasn't enough or I was just being too much and needed to back it down. And it just held me back from doing the things that I felt like, okay, this is my path. This is what I should be doing. But I found myself getting derailed because I just didn't believe that that could be for me. So I would hold myself back and take another path and not really be happy with what came out of that. And then through weight, it was just, I tried so many different things. And for me, it was not just trying a way of eating. I was very open to, if you had a pill that would do that for me, would make the weight melt off, I was willing to try it. And I was willing to try 2 of them at a time, because if it could do it in 30 days, I wanted it in 10. So give me more. And because I never could maintain anything, I just lost confidence that this was to be healthy, to be a weight that I felt comfortable in. I just didn't feel that wasn't in the cards for me, because I hadn't proven it. I didn't feel like I'd proven it to myself that I could do it. And it was a confidence thing, that it was easy to quit on myself.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that totally. And I think too, for anybody listening to this, I think one of the keys to confidence is really proving that you can do something. It's finding that evidence that it's working, finding that evidence that you're doing the right thing. Even if that evidence is teeny tiny, it's there, and acknowledging it and bringing it forward versus, well, I only lost a half a pound this week, so I must really suck. I must not be very good. Versus I lost a half a pound this week and I'm doing it, and that half a pound is never coming back.
Right.
And that's such a huge difference. So yeah, I think that's so key in everything we do.
And that's in every, I love the losing a half a pound and being proud of it, not telling your body you didn't do enough this week. It did something, and be happy for it, be proud of it and encourage it for more. But that shows up in everything we do. Maybe you're not happy in a work situation or with your family, and when you constantly are focusing on the negative, that's what you're attracting.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's part of the reason I chose to become a positivity coach, because I've never been a negative person. But there was a little time for a while that I started going down some sort of a negative rabbit hole. And I was like, oh, this is not where I want my life to go. So bringing positivity in is key. And I think that is amazing every aspect of our lives.
It is so needed. I know I've read the, relationship marriage books, and I believe it was in the love language book, if I'm correct, but about, if you're constantly focused on the negative things that are happening in the relationship, that's what you get more of. So focus on the good things. And it never dawned on me to do that with my weight journey as well.
Right. Absolutely. So can you expand a little bit on that and tell us how you've incorporated more confidence into weight loss and how you teach your clients to do that so that they have a
Sure.
successful journey with you as their coach?
Well, I think one of the very first things that, I'm really big in just let's tap into curiosity. Let's get curious about everything. Ask lots of questions of yourself. And when you typically in my past, every time I wanted to lose weight, it was just I wanted to lose 20 pounds. I wanted to lose 30 pounds. It was just a number that I wanted. So now it's getting clear on why. Why do I want to lose that number? And having lots of reasons why that's important. And I do that with all goals. That what's the reasons? Because motivation, willpower, that's not going to be there every day. We know that's not going to be there. So just saying you want to lose 20 pounds, you might not have willpower to make the right choices tomorrow. Right. But maybe one of the other reasons is going to come up higher on the scale. Maybe you've got a reason that you're trying to get off blood pressure medication because it's giving you side effects you don't like. Maybe it's you want to be able to go up and down the stairs with ease. There's all kinds of reasons if you give yourself the chance to sit down and get curious about what are these reasons. So first off, you've got to have a lot of reasons why you want it to work. And that's going to help you find the confidence to make the choices that are in your best interest every day. And then I like to look at your weight journey as just like a scale. And there's the good and the bad, and maybe you start out and you're, over here on the scale and you want to be here. You could easily go this way if you continue making the choices that you've been making. So it's just asking yourself with each choice that you make is which way is this moving me on the scale? Is it the direction I want to go or the opposite? And there's going to be times in life that if you have stories that create, there's a comfort in making a certain choice. It may be that you haven't healed that story enough to make the better choice. So it is actually the choice that you want to make to go in the opposite direction. But those stories are something that I work with clients on to why are you making the choice that doesn't feel good? There's a positive reason there. You're getting something positive out of that choice. Let's address it. Make a new story that allows you to make the better choice and feel good making it.
Yeah, I love that. I recently had somebody ask me what the difference between life coaching and therapy, counseling was. Mm-hmm. And that was exactly my answer was we look at your past and we don't try to change it. We try to figure out how you can move forward from it.
Right.
Versus counseling really tries to heal it and not really change it. And there's nothing wrong with counseling. That is definitely not, a bad thing. I've actually had multiple clients who have done life coaching with me at the same time that they're doing counseling, especially if they have trauma that they're trying to heal.
Right. I think
And
I think the higher percentage of my clients have worked with me and a counselor at the same time.
absolutely. And that's becoming more common. So, there is no shame in that. That is never, it's just a really cool added tool that life coaching can be with that, or you can do it separate, but they really do work hand in hand. And so I love that. And I love that you look into the stories. I know when we worked together at one time, working around the stories about food and what that meant to me, for me, because it was I was raised to be kind of a junk food hider. And that was not an intentional way that I was raised. But I remember having a bowl of ice cream and my mom being like, oh, we have to put that in the freezer because we have company here. And I didn't understand that. And always knowing that she had candy hidden in her desk drawer and just little things like that, but it was always hidden. It was like this, we have to keep this quiet. We don't tell others about it. And so when I went off to college, I never, unless we were eating in the cafeteria, I never ate in front of my roommate or my friends. I actually even had times, oh man, I'm embarrassed to say this one. I had times where I skipped class so that I could binge eat out of the vending machine because I was so stressed and so frustrated, but I didn't want anybody to see me doing it. And that was a story I had to heal. And I have since, I've gotten I'm not perfect at it, but I've gotten so much better. And I catch myself when I'm trying to hide things. And it's like, no, if I want it, I'm going to eat it in front of people and I'm going to be okay with it. And that's the very first step. And it's taken me a long time to get there, but it's working. So that's just, that's just a little portion of how, when we look at our stories from our past, and I didn't even know that was happening. Until I started coaching, I didn't understand any of that. So that's just working with a coach, what that can do for you.
Yeah. It can be that. It can be as simple as, for me, anytime we were sick, my mom's go-to was tapioca pudding. Like it's got some kind of healing properties.
Right.
But it was tapioca pudding. And, I don't make tapioca pudding. I didn't transfer that on to my kids. That's what we did every time we were sick. I didn't do that. But I did find myself as an adult, anytime I was sick, my mom would bring tapioca pudding because I was sick. But it's a comfort. And it wasn't like I ate enough of it that it was a problem food for me. But if I'm sick as a grown woman, I still think about that would make me feel better if I had that. So there are foods that we get this comfort from that it can become a, I don't want to say an obsession, but it just becomes so ingrained in us that if you have a bad day, you go for that food. I know when I'd reached a point where if I had a bad day, hot fudge peanut butter shake was actually my thing that I forged a habit with. If I had a bad day, I deserved one. If I had a good day, I deserved one. So it was just like, you can't do that to yourself every day and not expect to have pounds come on.
Right.
And to have repercussions of that choice. But that became such a comfort to me, for good and bad, that it was a problem. And so I had to really take a look at, why am I doing that?
Right.
Because I would tell myself, you are not doing it today. Not today. You're not doing it. And then by the afternoon, it was like, well, tomorrow. I'll get it today and I'll stop tomorrow.
Right.
And tomorrow is not a real thing.
Right.
All you have is today.
And we've even heard all you have is in this moment, whatever
Now.
choice you're going to make
Yeah.
in this moment. And you don't
Yeah.
beat yourself up for making that choice. You make the choice. If you need to do better next time, then you have the option in the next choice to do better. If you did great, then you celebrate yourself, you praise yourself, and be proud that you did great in that moment and with that choice, because it typically will make the next choice easier. And the more you do it, the easier and quicker it becomes that habit that you want it to be. Absolutely. Oh, I love that so much. What is one, if you could just give a potential client out there one tip for them around just weight loss or confidence, anything that comes up for you that you can think of?
It sounds incredibly silly, but breathe.
Yeah.
We don't breathe enough, and it's just breathing, giving yourself a chance to breathe deeply before you eat, to get your body in a relaxed state so it's even going to digest what you're taking in. Just breathing to give yourself that moment to evaluate your choices that you're making. And I think a lot of people get so caught up in their day and their to-do list, and feeling bad about what they've done, that they just don't breathe. And so the breathing, it's ignored.
Yes. Yes. I think
It's
it's ignored throughout every aspect of our day, like you said. And I think too, if you stop and you take a moment to breathe, you might realize what you want is really not what you're telling yourself you want. And so that might, when you have decisions, if you go in, if you have a big high exec job and you go in for a meeting, most of the time now you probably rush right in. But when you first started, you took a couple moments to compose yourself. You didn't go into your first big meeting like rushed and anxious, or hopefully you didn't, because I'm sure it didn't go terribly well. And if you're more experienced, you might do it that way now. But I would contend that if you stopped and took a minute and just let yourself breathe before you went in, it would just be a much easier and more seamless transaction for you to be a part of. And eating and food choices are the same way.
Yeah. We've become as a society just so used to now getting everything right now.
Yes.
Just quick, and the quicker we can have things, the better. And with that quickness, just our body is always feeling like it's in fight or flight. It needs that chance to come back down to safety and
absolutely
and feel relaxed. And kids do it and we grow out of it.
Right.
It shouldn't be a badge of honor to have rushed through your meal in 2 minutes.
No, never.
But we rush our life so much that we take the one thing of giving ourselves energy and pushing ourselves. It's so important, and we cut that down to, we're going to spend 10 minutes a day, the whole day, on what we allow ourselves for eating time. So just breathe with it and then continue as you're eating your meal every few bites. Let's just stop and breathe and
Yeah.
take a deep
Yeah.
breath and let it settle a little bit and
Yeah.
enjoy it. Taste the flavors and the textures and enjoy it.
That is such a great reminder. I know I myself forget that once in a while. And it's like, okay,
I do too.
here we go. We all do.
Yeah.
But yes, it is such a great reminder, and just being more mindful about what I'm eating and what I'm putting into my body to nourish it. Absolutely. I love that. Anything else that you would like to talk to us about today?
I think for anybody that feels like they've tried so many different, the diet of the month, and they've never been able to make it stick. They're constantly on a yo-yo of numbers on the scale. It can be simpler. They can make it happen. And to start with, I've got a Facebook group that weekly I share a kiss from Kristin. It's a keep it super simple tip. And if you're in the group, you get first access to the kiss each week. And it's always something that if you take it away and you're consistent with it, you consistently are taking action, you are going to see a change. You're going to see a shift. And a lot of times it's not just your weight. It's going to be a shift that touches every area of your life. And because little changes just ripple out into every area. So getting in the group is a great way to get information that I share for free. And I also have a guide that I've written. It's called Stop Dieting, Start Losing. And it's got, just step one, let's get your mindset going.
Awesome. All that information about how to contact Kristin is down in the show notes. So you're welcome to go down there and click on that. You can join her group. Her group is for women only. And so you can join her group if you're a woman. Otherwise, her email is down there, and how you can find her on other social media like her Facebook. So thank you again, Kristin, so much for joining us and for being a part of this. And yeah, I love this. This was a great conversation on confidence. And I hope that you guys, as our listeners, have gained a little insight into how you can pull confidence into weight loss and for your bodies, and how it just runs through your whole day, how it's part of everything you do. It's not just weight loss. It's not just mindset. It's not just that meeting. Your confidence can build in everything. And once you start, it's like building blocks. Once you start, they just keep layering and layering. And so, yes, I think that's great. And I can't wait to have a conversation with you next week on our Pep Talks with Jen, as we have our final week of confidence, and we'll go from there. Take care.